Happy Saturday. So, image. The image I have of myself. The image you have of yourself. It's been constructed. I have had a part in it. Society has had a part in it. My parents have had a part in it. The region I grew up with had a part in it. To free yourself from that, to free myself from what I've created, has been a lifetime and still is a lifetime challenge. But for me to understand, or not even, or to empathize, for me to empathize that each individual goes through their own image. Each individual gets to compute what that is for themselves. And sure, I can judge and compare, and that might not be useful or helpful or right or wrong. It just is. But when I was able, and when I'm able, to look at other individuals and say, oh wow, like, what's it like to look through their lens? And generally, I'm not even going to have all of the things that they get to look through from their history. Some people don't remember their history, don't remember certain traumas. And all of that is what we bring to the lens that we look through the image of ourselves, through our mind's eye. I mean, I know the incongruency of what I feel is as to what it is in reality. I know that by looking at pictures of myself in my 20s, and I'm like, that kid had no problems. And then I remember that that kid is me, and all I can remember is problems. I can remember never feeling, handsome enough, or, strong enough, or whatever. I needed to lose weight, like all of this crazy nonsense. I'm like, that, and I look at that person who is me 20 years ago, and I'm like, oh, that person had it together. That person had nothing together. And when I see that, when I see images of myself, pictures of myself from 20 years ago, and I remember how I felt versus the way I look, I then begin to understand the incongruency, that the fractured thinking, that the image is distorted, that my perception is off. And then I get to address the perception. I get to address the story I tell myself, which helps govern my perception. And then I begin to, for me, reshape my narrative. Reshape a truth that is not true, that reshape the truth. Because what I've been telling myself is not the truth. I've been telling myself lies my whole life about a lot of things. Generally, to make myself not feel good. I mean, there are people that are narcissistic that tell themselves lies that are not true and are crazy. I mean, we have someone running the country like that. So it can go a bunch of different ways. I'm not sure which is worse. Well, probably his, I guess. But anyway, my perception is dictated and governed by the story I continually tell myself. So when I begin to get the facts, and I can talk to my trusted support system, hopefully you have some people in your lives, and bounce these great ideas that this thing creates, I am not, the first thought that comes up, I'm not responsible for. It's the second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. Because the first thought, it just comes. Sometimes it's divinity, and sometimes it's crazy. And I can't tell the difference because it's both the same voice. I can feel the difference in me if I'm quiet enough, because maybe the divine voice strikes a chord in my heart, while the crazy voice motivates my nutball mind and my ego. I don't know. I love it. I love that I'm just, I don't know. We're stumbling through this existence and this experience together, in my opinion. I mean, we're obviously in it together, but we're really in it together. And it doesn't feel that way, but it sure is that way for me. I mean, we all breathe the same air. That's why I don't understand. The selfishness of individuals to damage and ruin the earth when we all get to live here. I don't understand. That seems silly to me, but whatever. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Much love, big up, big light, and yeah, have a great Saturday.